Question number 1. In the diagram below, angle EFH measures 104 degrees. Angle GFH is a right angle. What is the measure of angle EFG? Write the solution, write and solve an equation to find your answer. Okay, so go ahead. So it's saying that angle EFH right here is 104 degrees, and angle GFH is 90 degrees. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out what angle EFG is. EFG, I'm a little off a little bit there. But, so we got some information right there. We know what the bigger angle is. The bigger angle is 104 degrees. Okay, and we have the right angle right there, which is 90 degrees, and we're trying to figure out what this smaller angle is right here, this area right here. And if I subtract, that should give me what this angle is right here. So 0 from 4 is 4, and 9 from 10 is 1. So this angle right here is 14 degrees. Problem number 2. Nicholas noticed that the hands of the clock form an angle that measures 60 degrees at 2 o'clock. Okay. What is the measure of the angle formed by the clock's hands at 4 o'clock? So, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock right there is 60 degrees. 60 degrees right there. And what we're trying to do is find out what 4 o'clock is. And there's a lot of ways to do this. You could go ahead and split that in half right there. And we could say that each hour of the clock, the hour hand is moving. If I split that in half, that would be 30 degrees right there. And I could go ahead and just multiply 30 times 4. And that's one way I'll do it. We'll go ahead and multiply 30 times 4. 30 times 4 is actually 120. And that'd be 120 degrees. Another way we could do it, we could go ahead and say that that would be the same distance, because it moved another 2. It moved another 2 marks. So we could go ahead and say that we just take the 160 and multiply it by 2 right there. And 160 times 2 still is 120 degrees. So this measurement right here is 120 degrees. Put that in our blank. 120 degrees. Question number 3. Rochelle drew this figure to show the angles between 3 sidewalks at the City Rose Garden. So if angle DEG measures 116 degrees, what is the measure of angle FEG? Show your work, write the solution, write and solve an equation to find your answer. So the bigger angle right there, talking about angle DEG. DEG is 116 degrees. 116 degrees. And what we're trying to find out is the measurement of angle FEG. FEG right there. Okay? And it's showing us right here that the other angle that's inside of the 116 degree angle is 66 degrees. So if I subtract the 66 degrees from the 116, that should tell me what my green angle is right there, or angle FEG. So 66 minus 116. 6 from 6 is 0. And then 6 from 11 would be 5. So that should be 50 degrees right there. This angle right here would be 50 degrees. Okay, number 4. What are the measures of angle A and angle B in the rectangle below? So, important thing in this, it's a rectangle. Okay, and since it's a rectangle, we know we have 4 right angles right there. So that's going to help us figure out what some of these measurements are. So, for measurement A right there, measurement A or angle A, I know that the overall angle right here, since it's a rectangle, okay, I know that that's 90 degrees right there. That's a 90-degree angle. It's a rectangle. So if I went ahead and subtracted had 90 and subtracted 65 from that, 65. Okay, that would tell me what angle A is right here. So I'll go ahead and do that. Need to regroup. That's an 8. Makes that 10. 5 from 10 is 5. And 6 from 8 is 2. So that's saying that angle A would be 25 degrees. Angle A is 25 degrees. Now angle B there. Okay, angle B comes to a straight line right there, and we know our straight line forms a 180-degree angle. So all I have to do is subtract 25 from 180, and that'll tell me what angle B would be. So I'll take 180. I'll do this up here. 180, and subtract 25 from it. Regroup right there. That becomes a 7. Becomes a 10. And then 5 from 10 is 5. And then 2 from 7 is 5. And then 0 from 1 is 1. So my angle B right there, make it blue, angle B is going to be 155 degrees. Question number 5. The beacon light in the lighthouse rotates 45 degrees and pauses. It rotates and passes again. The light moves a total of 95 degrees during the 2 rotations. How many degrees does the lighthouse turn in the second rotation? Draw a diagram to help you solve this. So I'm going to draw a diagram. The total rotation, so the total amount it rotates is 95 degrees, which is a little bit bigger than a right angle. So I'm going to make me something kind of close to a right angle right there. Okay, that's going to be the total rotation. That's the 95 degrees right there. And the first time it rotates 45 degrees. So the first rotation, I'll make red, which is 45 degrees. So I'll go ahead and draw that. It's going to be about like that right there. So this rotation right here is 45 degrees. So if I want to figure out what the total or the second rotation is, all I'd have to do is subtract that from the 95, 45 from 95. So I got 95 minus 45. 5 from 5 is 0, and 4 from 9 is 5. So that means the second rotation, make that blue, second rotation is 50 degrees. 50 degrees, I'll write that down here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the second page. Okay, Jay draws a diagram of a cave for science class. He draws a picture of a stalagmite. Using a protractor, Jay finds that the measure of angle XYZ is 110 degrees. Which statement could be true? So, statement A says since angle WYZ is a right angle, so angle WYZ right there is a right angle, and WYZ is not a right angle. So that cannot be true. Okay, we'll go ahead and look at B. Since WYZ is a right angle, and WYZ is still not a right angle, so we can eliminate that. Answer choice C. Since WYZ is a straight angle, okay, there we go, we're getting somewhere. Okay, so that's a true statement. J knows that WYX measures 90 degrees. And WYX, hold on. Okay, WYX right there, 90 degrees. And it doesn't look like a 90 degree angle to me. And since it's a WYZ is a straight angle, and angle XYZ is 110, so I don't think that would be 90 degrees. I won't line through it yet, but we'll go ahead and look at answer choice D. So we said WYZ is a straight angle. That's a true statement. Okay, J knows that WYX measures 70 degrees. And the only way to really check that is go ahead and add my 110. And we're going to go ahead and label this as being 70. Because that's what I think this is true right here. I'll put a question mark right here. Okay, I'll go ahead and add those two together and see if it equals 180. So 110 plus 70, that's 0, that's 8, and that's 1. So that is my true statement. And this one is false. Question number 2. The diagram below represents the movement of a Ferris wheel carriage. The wheel rotates the carriage at an angle of 60 degrees from point A to point E. Okay, what is the measure of angle EBC? So, 60 degrees, the 60 degrees right here, is a movement from A to E. From A to E. So this movement right here from A to E is 60 degrees. And what we're trying to find out is angle EBC. Angle EBC. Okay? And it tells us right here that the other angle, our other angle, let's go ahead and I'll do it green. Okay? Angle ABC is 23 degrees. So if ABC is 23 degrees, all I really need to do is subtract 23 from 60, and that will tell me what my missing in my angle EBC is. So minus 23. Need to regroup. That becomes a 5. That becomes a 10. 3 from 10 is 7. Then 2 from 5 is 3. So that gives me 37 degrees. And I look here, and that's my first answer choice right here. 37 degrees. Go ahead and look at problem number 3. Okay, arrange 10 crayons at equal distances to create this design. So there's 10 crayons there to create a design. They're all equal distance apart. What is the measure of angle BKD? Angle BKD. So we're looking at angle BKD. And it looks like it created 2 angles right there. And by what it's saying right there, it sounds like there's going to be 10 angles that create a complete circle there. I'm going to count just to be sure. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 complete angles. So the first thing I need to do is figure out what the measurement of one angle is. And to figure out what the measurement of one of the angles are, we would go ahead and take 360, which is a complete circle, divided by 10. And looking at that fact right there, I know that 36 times 10 equals 360, so the answer to that's going to be 36. So that means each one of those is 36 degrees. So if I want to know what 2 of the angles are there, which is angle B, I think it's BKD, angle BKD there, all I'd have to do is take 36 and multiply by 2. So 36 times 2. 2 times 6 is 12. And 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So that's 72 degrees. and that's answer choice D. Let's look at question number 4. Okay, in this diagram, angle P, it's like POR, has been decomposed into two smaller angles, which could be the measure of angle QOR and angle POR. So let's go ahead and we'll look at that real quick. So what can be, we'll look at this real quick. Box in our question. So first we're trying to figure out the angle of QOR. That's one of our angles. So angle QOR, and angle POR. Angle QOR, POR. And I can see that POR is my larger angle. So POR is my larger angle. So basically, whatever this is right here, whatever my bigger number is going to be, these are my bigger angles right here. That's my PORs. And what I'm trying to find out is QOR. So basically, if I add this right here to this, it needs to equal that. So that's what we'll do. We'll just go ahead and 65 plus 65. I know 65 plus 65 is more than 120, so we'll go ahead and I'll just write it down anyway. So we eliminate it. So 65 plus 65 equals 70. 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry my 1. 6 plus 6 plus 1 is 13. So 130. Brain wasn't working right there. So that doesn't work. F doesn't work. We'll go ahead and add 70 plus 65 and see if it equals 135. So 70 plus 65. 5 plus 0 is 5. And then 6 plus 7 is 13. So that looks like a good possibility right there. We'll still double check it. We'll go ahead and check 75 plus 65 and see if it equals 145. So 75 plus 65. You see I'm not stopping just because I think I found the right answer. I'm going to go and check them all. 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry my 1. And then 7 plus 1 plus 6 is 14. So that's 140. So that one doesn't work. And then 75 again plus 65. And we already figured out the 75 plus 65 is 140. And that doesn't work right there. So our right answer is this one right here, G. Okay. Going to look at a couple other questions. In this figure, angle LEI is a straight angle, and angle LEG is a right angle. Which statement is not true? A, angle LEG measures 90 degrees. Okay. H, angle IEG measures 46 degrees. C, angle KEL measures 25 degrees. Or D, angle LEH measures 134 degrees. Okay. Question number 2. Okay, question number 2. Okay, a fireworks specialist stands at point P. He shoots fireworks at different angles into the sky as shown in the diagram. Angle angle OPR measures 100 degrees. What is the measure of angle RPS? F, 53 degrees, G, 33 degrees, H, 157 degrees, or J, 43 degrees. Question number 3. Mr. Barnes drew his diagram to show the angle at which the sprinklers watered his backyard before returning to the starting position. What is the measure of angle EFH? A, 8 degrees, B, 148 degrees, C, 90 degrees, or D, 138 degrees? Question number 4. Angle ABC forms one vertex of a rectangle. Which could be the measure of angle 1 and angle 2? F, 51 degrees and 90 degrees, G, 90 degrees and 90 degrees, H, 48 degrees and 42 degrees, or J, 51 degrees and 49 degrees? Back to the assessment page. Question number 1. What is the measure of angle VWY? A, 60 degrees, B, 65 degrees, C, 118 degrees, or D, 168 degrees? Question number 2. Brian makes bookends for his mother. He forms two congruent triangles by cutting a square piece of wood into half along a diagonal. The diagram shows how Brian cut the wood. What is the measure of angle D in one of Brian's rectangles? F, 35 degrees, G, 45 degrees, H, 60 degrees, or J, 90 degrees? Question number 3. Zoe started a leaf collection. She studied one of the leaves that and found that the center vein of the leaf was a line segment that forms angles with the other veins. She drew the diagram of the leaf. Angle XWY has a measure of 48 degrees. What is the measure of angle XWV? A, 132 degrees, B, 52 degrees, C, 42 degrees, or D, 152 degrees? Question number 4. Angle LKN has a measure of 61 degrees. What is the measure of angle MKN? F, 57 degrees, G, 85 degrees, H, 41 degrees, or J, 39 degrees?